begin today. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Gita, chapter number 2, text number 60. नाशतो विद्यते भावो न भवो विद्यते शतः उभयोरपि दृष्टो न ताश्त्वानयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः. Translation purport given by His Divine Guru Shri Bhakti Ashram Srila Prabhupada. Those who are the seers of the truth have concluded that of the existent, the material body, there is no endurance, and of the eternal, there is no change. This they have concluded by studying the nature of both. I read this again. Please hear. Those who are seers of the truth have concluded that of the non-existent, the material body, which means it will not exist, there is no endurance, and of the eternal, the soul, there is no change. This they have concluded by studying the nature of both. Purport. There is no endurance of the changing body, but the body is changing at every moment by the actions and reactions of the different cells is admitted by the modern medical science. And thus growth and old age are taking place in the body. But the spirit soul exists permanently, remaining the same despite all changes of the body and the mind. That is the difference between matter and the spirit. By nature, the body is ever changing and the soul is eternal. This conclusion is established by all classes of seers of the truth, both impersonalist and personalist. In the Vishnu Puran, it is stated that Vishnu and his abodes all have self-illuminated spiritual existence. Jyotirshme Vishnu Bhuvani Vishnu. The word existent and non-existent refers only to the spirit and the matter. That is a version of all the seers of the truth. This is a beginning of the instruction by the Lord to the living entities who are bewildered by the influence of the ignorance. Removal of ignorance involves the re-establishment of eternal relationship between the worshipper and the worshipable, and the consequent understanding of the difference between the part and parcel living entity and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One can understand the nature of the Supreme by thoroughly studying of oneself. The difference between oneself and the Supreme Being, understood as a relationship between the part and the whole, in the Vedanta Sutra as well as in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Actually, Srimad Bhagavatam is a summary study of the Vedanta Sutras. The Supreme has been accepted as the origin of all emanations. Such emanations are experienced by the superior and inferior natural sequences. The living entities belong to the superior nature as it will be revealed in the 7th chapter. Although there is no difference between the energy and energetic, Although there is no difference between energy and the energetic is accepted as the supreme, and the energy or the nature is accepted as the subordinate. The living entities therefore are always subordinate to the Supreme Lord, as in the case of the master and the servant, of the teacher and the taught. Such clear knowledge is impossible to understand under the spell of ignorance. The living entities therefore are always subordinate to the Supreme Lord, as in the case of the master and the servant, or the teacher and the taught. Such clear knowledge is impossible to understand under the spell of ignorance. And to drive away such ignorance, the Lord teaches Gita for the enlightenment of all living entities for all time. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaka Dhamanyam Dadati Svapadantikam. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama. Mukam karoti vachalam pungam langayate viram Yatkripatavaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam. Hare Krishna. So, it's a very, very important shloka. So, why? So, in order to know something, why do we need to know completely? Generally, we see in children, and we tell this is the answer, they'll just accept it. But they'll not try to understand. Only few students, only few children will try to understand why this answer came like this. What is the reason behind it? They would just accept the answer and then they would go. If they concluded as 5, and then when we say that is 4, they accept it, then they move forward. But they don't try to think or understand why exactly it is 4, not 5. So, why am I telling that is here, who thinks those who are the seers of the truth have concluded that of the non existent there is no endurance, and of the eternal there is no change. That means to see something, one aspect there is no change, other aspect there is change, which we actually see through every moment. Every day we can see change. For example, let's say your friend, let's say you live in Dubai and then you move to Hyderabad. Your Dubai friend came to India after 1 year. He has a child of 2 years. And then after 1 year, he will be 3 years. Now, the moment you see that child, you'll say, "Arey baap re, bahut change ho gaya." He changed a lot. He's 3 years now. Now, the person who is actually staying with them every day, they will not see the change. But you have seen after them, after the child, after that, you have seen the child after 1 year. You tell him that, oh, you know what, this is grown up. Or else you will tell your friend, hey, you know what, your hair is gone now within 1 year. Or something like that. That means you will actually find the difference. Because what you did, you have seen the past, you're seeing the present. You could correlate by seeing both the things, and then you can see the difference of that. In the same way, the spiritual body is always spiritual. That means it is everlasting. It will continue to exist. But the material body which is there, it will deteriorate. The body which you are seeing like this today will not be like this after 20 years. Now, yesterday I was having a discussion in the evening. Now, the discussion is very important. It's very connected to this shloka. Now, the point is, we hear at every moment in our life that yes, this body is temporary, we have to leave this body, uh, we are not here permanently. We hear, we understand also, we have the knowledge also. But when it comes to application, it's not possible. This is a core reason why devotees do tell that at the consciousness level, I'm not that right, which is absolutely right. Because consciousness level, the change can be done in unlimited ways. That means one can intensify his consciousness in unlimited ways. In unlimited ways means he can go deeper. Because we are all a conscious being. That means what are we actually working on? We are actually working on the soul. Because that is the property of the soul. That doesn't mean that we don't deal with this body. We deal with this body because the soul is kept in this particular body. Please understand, we take care of this body because there is a soul in this. Because if this body is not been rightly been taken care, the services through which the soul is getting purified, those will be stopped because we have to use this body for those services. Neither we can completely ignore this body, nor we fully be absorbed in a bodily consciousness. That means, oh, no, I cannot go there. No, I cannot sit here. I cannot do that. I cannot do this. That is what? That is total absorption on this body. On the other side, completely ignoring, no, I will not eat. I will eat once in 3 weeks or once in 3 days. That is also not right. That means fully avoiding this, that is also not right. Fully observing on this, that is also not right. That's what Prabhupada says that right balance has to be done. That means we have to put this body and soul together. For that, whatever is to be done, we have to do that. As this body is ready to be diminished, this body has to be put into fire, or this body has to be kept under the ground based on everyone's way of accepting the truth. They do it in different ways. That means the body is there. The Atma, the soul, will actually stand 6 feet away from the body, will actually see technically the body what's happening. And then the soul, which is actually watching this body, he'll be in a worried condition. He'll be in a difficult state to accept that state that this body is no longer being available to him. Now, if he's a pure devotee, he will not dwell too much onto this. Or if he's at least taking the association of a pure devotee, he will not dwell too much onto it. But the person who is actually fully absorbed in this bodily consciousness, he will actually suffer so much. Because the entire life we think that this is what we are. But their moment here itself, Krishna is telling this, these are the two aspects. And one should understand these two aspects fully to really understand the absolute truth. What is real knowledge? Real knowledge means proper says matter, spirit, controller of both. Honest. That means matter one should understand, spirit one should understand. One should really understand who is the controller of this both. This is real knowledge actually. Do we see anything else other than this? You deal with matter, physics, chemistry, it all comes under that. What do? They actually go into deep into it, matter. They actually find the elements. What is hydrogen? What is carbon dioxide? What is this? What is oxygen? So many others. Where is sulfur? Where is hydrogen peroxide? What is all this? This is all matter. That is chemistry. They do PhD also in this. Physics. When we go deeper, we have quantum physics. What is that? They deal with atoms. Now, how is this atom coming? How is that atom coming? How is this going from here to there? Why is that coming from here to here, there to here? How is the electron going? How is the proton going? How is the neutron reacting? All of these things. How is the gravity working? Who is pulling? This is all for the matter. And how much force, with how much force it is pulling. How the earth is rotating. This is all matter. It is all related to the matter. That means just through one line of Prabhupada words, everything is coming. Matter, spirit, and the controller of the both. So if you understand the matter and the spirit, you understand the controller of the both, then you got everything actually. Then do you ever lament in this world? There is no point to lament in this world. But people do lament in this world. And especially during the difficulties they pray. Now I see messages in our home. We have a home group, WhatsApp group. They're messaging. Please pray, please pray, please pray for the well-being so that he stays more. One of our relatives is in a difficult state right now. So everyone is putting a message. Yes, he should stay more. He should stay more. And for this, we will offer our prayers. Offer our prayers. That means that we're just seeing the matter side. We don't see the spirit side. That means for that matter, we are actually trying to do all the prayers. That means we want to protect that matter. But we are not seeing how that person is actually suffering in that particular body. Everyone wants that person to stay more, but nobody is thinking that how much suffering he has to go through if he stays more. This is the state of duality which we discussed yesterday. That means everyone is seeing from his perspective. We don't see from the perspective of the other person. We don't see how the other person is thinking. Now I'll tell another interesting aspect. Let's say a person is about to leave the body. And then everyone is chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. They are intensely praying for that devotee. And they are actually telling, yes, yes, this devotee should go to the spiritual world because we are all chanting Hare Krishna. But did we ever thought that what is the desire of that person is about to leave the body? कभी सोचते हैं क्या उसके बारे में? Do you ever think about that particular person? Now everyone, all 50 devotees, they have kartals and mridanga, everything is there. They got opportunity to chant. They are there chanting loudly. But what is the desire of that person? Does he have any desires? Is he connected here or is he really connected to that holy name? What is his thought process? Where is he thinking? Where is his consciousness? Where is thinking, feeling, willing? Where is that? This is what important, right? No, now 100 devotees might be there, but nobody is actually caring that particular person. What is that? Is that real benefit? But there is only one person. But that one person is actually really inquiring, what do you want? What is your need? I know you are in a difficult state. You're about to leave. Do you have any desires? Are you attached to this world? If yes, what kind of attachment you have? Are you attached to your wife? Are you attached to money? Are you attached to your children? Do you think that your children will not be taken care because you are leaving this world? Do you have that problem? Or do you think that if your wife will not be taken care because you are not here? Or do you think that the money which you already gave to your children will not be sufficient for them to withstand? Where is your thoughts? What is your consciousness? These are the questions nobody will ask. But everyone will ask, yes, yes, jayenge. This Prabhu will go to the spiritual world. Are this person is actually stuck here. These questions have to be cleared. And then we need to ask, are you envious to any person here? Are you envious? Do you have enmity to any of the persons? If yes, who is that person? Tell me, and what kind of enmity you have towards him? Because this is the time to be clear of. Dear devotees, this question we need to ask every day in our life. Am I envious to anyone? Oh, that person hurt me. What is my feeling to that person? Oh, that person humiliated me. What is my feeling towards that person? Am I okay with that person? Am I treating him as Manushyanam Sahusreshu or Mamaivaamsu Jivo Loke Jivo Bhuta Sanatana? He is also part and parcel of the Lord. Am I treating him like that? Am I treating exactly the way how my spiritual master told me to treat the other person? Am I treating like that? He is humiliating, but still am I treating him in the right way? These are the things which we need to tell our consciousness. Because dear devotees, if you train your consciousness like that in this particular very moment, to the process of Shravana and Kirtan, at the end of the life, you will not remember any of these things. Because you already purified, you already came out of all of these things. You'll simply remember the glories of the Lord. You'll simply meditate on the pastimes of the Lord. Whatever our acharyas told us, we will just meditate on them. And we'll think, oh, how merciful my father is, how merciful the Lord is, how merciful Srila Prabhupada. You'll think about Srila Prabhupada, you'll think about your spiritual life, you'll think about Krishna. Because that is what you did, that is what you trained. And that's why you leave the body. Doesn't matter if one person is there or not, doesn't matter. When you are thinking in our consciousness about the glories of the spiritual master and the Lord, you are actually there with them only. For this to understand, we need to know three things: matter, spirit, control of the world. We need to understand this matter which we are dealing with in this world. To get some happiness, it will diminish. That means better stop getting happiness through this body. First thing, you should be free from this sex life. We should aspire for that. Because that itself, Krishna is immediately telling. What is he telling us? Those are seers of the truth. Krishna is telling to only those personalities who are the seers of the truth, that have concluded that of non-existence. This metal body is non-existent. This, you will not get any happiness through this body. One should be fixed up in that. There is no endurance, and of the eternal, there is no change. That means when there is something on this body will not stay like this forever. That means what kind of happiness it is giving us? It is a temporary and illusory happiness. Will that illusory happiness satisfy us? No. That means I have to leave this illusory happiness to get the transcendental happiness. That means I should begin working on the soul plane. That means this illusory happiness I should diminish and aspire for the transcendental happiness. That means our actions and activities in this world should be dealt in such a way that all my bodily happiness, the happiness which is coming through this body, that is illusion, because this body itself is illusion. If I keep that aside, then I will think what is the other happiness. For example, if I'm absorbed in this bodily happiness, what I will do is I will not aspire for that soul level happiness. Soul level happiness comes through chanting of Hare Krishna. Soul level happiness comes through the process of hearing. Soul level of happiness comes through doing service to the spiritual master. That means even cleaning the bathrooms will also give soul level happiness. It is been given as a service to us to do that. That means what are we trying to do here? We are understanding what is this body. We are understanding what is this soul. And we are understanding who is the controller of this both. That means I'll tell something. If the proprietor of this body is telling, don't try to get happiness through this body, that means if you are getting happiness through that body, what is that signifying? Is it indicating anything fishy? It is indicating fishy. Because our proprietor told, those are seers of the truth. He told very clearly, Nasuto vidyate bhava. Nabhava vidyate sataha. I've concluded that the non-existent, first statement itself is telling that non-existent. What is a non-existent? This body. This body is non-existent. This body is only a means to identify that we are not this body. To identify we are not this body, the body is used as a means. Please understand this data about us. And then the more we actually aspire for this state, the more we will realize. Because unless and until we came out of this state, we'll continue doing so many complaints in our lives. ये नहीं है, वो नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं है. In my home, this is not good, that is not good. He's not doing that, she's not doing this. This drama will go on continuously. Because the jiva here is always trying to find something or the other. Mostly trying to find faults only. That is the nature. Because why the jiva is trying to find faults here? Because he's a controller. If a person is a controller, then only he'll try to find faults. If a person is thinking that he's superior, then only he'll try to find faults. No, unless and until he's been authorized, one shouldn't find. For example, if a person is doing a big service, oh, he should actually find mistakes. Otherwise, the service is not done correctly. As a service, they will do. Very important. Srila Prabhupada was actually finding mistakes in his disciples because as a service, he has to do that. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he did it as a service. When two devotees are actually trying to find faults, they're trying to fight. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur consciously told, see good in them. Tell what is good in him. He's asking the other devotee. And the other devotee is asking, tell good in him. Because what is he trying to bring? He's trying to bring a good state between both the devotees. Not just that, if there is a reason Under logic, they will actually find mistake. That is good. If they are finding mistakes, that is good for us. That is good for our upliftment. Our consciousness has to be uplifted, because if the mistakes are not found, then we are thinking that everything is going good. For example, I'll tell something. Let's say you studied second grade in one school, and for third grade you came to another school. In your second grade in some other school, you were like 90%. But when you came to other school, they did an assessment. There in the assessment you got only 50%. It's not 90%. Now the parent might think that, oh, you know what, my child was good there, and here the assessment is not good. What is happening? They will tell like that. Because the assessment is truly assessing the value of the child. The earlier school might not be doing that. That means if a person is actually thinking from that particular angle, then he is not seeing the bigger picture. Likewise, when I'm just seeing a single aspect, that through this body, I cannot perceive the soul aspect itself. That means if my vision is completely absorbed in this body, then I cannot see the soul. Because every action I'm seeing this body only. Like you remember children, when they have a cut on the hand, they will show, whoever is coming to the home, they will show this hand. You see, there's a cut here. That means the child will not think what the other person is really wanting, why he came to the home. The child will immediately go and show the finger. Because that's his absorption. I'm not telling that is bad. That is the maturity level of a child. He's absorbed at that level only. He's not fully matured. That's why what is Gita? Gita is telling, that's why Krishna gave this stress at the beginning itself. He says, whoever are the seekers of the truth. It's a bold statement. Whoever are the seekers of this truth, they should understand the body, spirit, and the controller of the both. The moment he understands, what he does is, he avoids this bodily consciousness and he'll try to observe on the soul level. And through avoiding that, the bodily consciousness, and absorbing in the soul level, now how does he does that? By fully be fixed up on the absolute truth. That means wherever he goes, he sees the absolute truth only. That means even if he sees a person or a devotee, he is actually seeing the soul within that person. He's not seeing the body. So that's how actually we should see the other devotee. Please understand. And we take care of this body. Why? Just to connect. Nothing more. And we ask the well-being of the devotee. How are you doing? How is your body reacting? Because from our side to the other person, we should be generous and kind, but for ourselves, we should be very strict. Whatever minimum things we have to give, we should give that to the body and then move forward. Not eat more, not eat less. Perfect thing. Whatever has to be done, it has to be done. One time, two time, whatever you're eating, perfect. It should be perfect. One should have over endeavor. One shouldn't eat less. One shouldn't eat more. If it is eating more, he'll be sleeping. If it is eating less, he will not have energy. So what he should do? He should do the balance. He should not do less. He should not do more. More is also problem. Less is also problem. Balance is the right word. Likewise, the balance of Krishna consciousness is what? Internally, our consciousness should be strong. We should be heavy to ourselves.
Hello.
We should be what? We should be heavy to ourselves. We should be liberal to the other devotee.
అది మొన్న చూస్తా అన్నారు
We should answer well.
మళ్ళీ కొంచెం సెలవులు అయ్యి బయటికి వెళ్ళినట్టున్నారు.
What is that? We should ask there.
నేను మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి గుర్తు చేస్తాను
Well,
మిమ్మల్ని
now
అడుగుతాను.
this we need to understand.
డెఫినెట్ గా చూస్తాను సార్, అడుగుతాను.
No, so the more we
Alright,
aspire
yes.
for this state, then we'll realize.
అవునవును, ఒకసారి వెళ్ళొస్తాను ఆ వాచ్మెన్ ఫోన్ చేసి.
So that is the secret formula here.
అలాగే అలాగే. ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
So the removal of ignorance is the most important. Now, how do we remove the ignorance? The science is darkness. How does one remove darkness? By adding the light. Now, how is that ignorance dissipated? By understanding the absolute truth, by following the instructions of the Lord, through the parampara, through the disciplic succession. Bona fide authorized process. Simply, we need to just to follow what they are telling. That's the secret formula. Secret formula in Krishna consciousness is understand, apply, see the results. The results are not seen, again apply. Again see the results. Again the results are not, again apply. Apply more. Apply until that point of time, until you see the results. Because this process works wonders. This process works for everyone. Every person who takes this science will be benefited. Only that application is required. That's how the ignorance is dissipated. That's why seekers of the truth, Krishna mentions here in this shloka, seekers of the truth who are actually aspiring for that consciousness, for them this is a blessing. Because this gives solutions to all the problems. All the problems. Not one problem, two problems. It gives solutions to all the problems. The moment we keep ourselves from this bodily consciousness, half of the business is done there itself. The moment we begin enjoying or staying in this bodily consciousness, what is happening? More karmic reactions are coming. That means we are actually digging our own dig. We have to dig and then put ourselves, then put sand on it. Now this is the secret formula. Krishna is telling clearly here. Now when we think further about this, another aspect comes. Dear devotees, Krishna is telling this to Arjuna. Now when we see the state of Arjuna, he is actually really hankering or aspiring for this. Because he has a problem and he wants to come out of that problem. Now Krishna is giving a solution to that problem. Now we see this problem at times in our life. Not every moment. At times we see this problem, but during that problem, our absorption is not completely fixed in that, or the problem is dissipated, is gone, because it comes and goes. It will not stay, just like how Arjuna is facing the problem. For us, we will not get that kind of problems. We get similar problems. Through that similar problems, when we understand, there are 4 major problems: birth, death, old age, disease. Actually, birth is a problem. We don't see that as a problem. Because through birth, death also comes. When we see the people of this world, they have a child. For their first year, so many living entities have to be killed. Unlimited. So many living entities have to be killed just for that one birthday party. That means his meter began running. The meter of the problem began running. That means he already came with a baggage. Now that he is actually increasing that baggage by doing all these activities. Already we are in a problem. Through that problem, we are trying to carry another problem. But we don't want to come out of this problem. Well, birth is a problem. A lot of people do not accept that birth is a problem. Don't we have to sit in the mother's womb for 9 months? Just imagine. Sit in a room for one day. We'll give you some prasad from the door. There's no cell phone also. You will not be given cell phone. There's nothing. You have to be just there. You have to sit like that. It's a 4 by 4. It's not even mother's room. It's like a very small 4 by 4 room. Very closed. It's like a jail. You'll be given prasad from the bottom. Everything you have to do there only. Can we stay there for one day? I think about this when I'm alone. Why? Because dear, what is this important? Because we did all of these things in the mother's womb. Didn't we do that? We did it. But we have forgotten. But we all went through that. Now you say, oh, Prabhu, consciousness is not there. No, no, consciousness is there. Who's telling consciousness is not there? Narada Muni, Prahlad Maharaj, he didn't hear from his mother's womb. Are a lot of devotee children, the moment they come out, when somebody is telling Hare Krishna, they react, they see like this, like this. Are they hearing Hare Krishna for the first time? No, they heard in the mother's womb only. That's why they're seeing Hare Krishna. And somebody is telling Hare Krishna, they'll see like this. When somebody is doing kirtan, they'll see like this. When somebody is chanting, they'll see like this. Why? Because they've experienced all of that in their mother's womb. That means we have experience, because if there is no consciousness, we will not experience that. That means the consciousness is present. That means, is it not an indication or a proof that birth is a problem? It is a problem. So these 4 problems has to be addressed: birth, death, old age, disease. We don't have to go through another mother's womb. We don't have to repeat this cycle. This is not good. We should take every opportunity to come out of this chakkar, this cycle of birth and death. That is why Krishna is telling only this is exclusively for the seekers of the truth, not to anyone else. Whoever really was seeking for the truth, for them only this truth is, not to anyone else. Because anyone else, because they are all in ignorance, they cannot understand. Only people who are free from this ignorance, they can only understand. Please understand this. One should be free from this. To be free from this, first thing we should be free from is this bodily consciousness. This Shravana Kirtana helps us so much to come out of this bodily consciousness. Especially hearing in the relationship from the pure souls. Spiritual master acharyas, when we hear from them through their Vani, in this goes in the heart, you'll become free from this bodily conception. The moment when you want to act or behave on this bodily plane, immediately the words of spiritual master will come. Hey, Nilgovindas, what are you doing? Hey, don't do this. Immediately it will tell. No, you shouldn't do this. This is not right. That is the beginning. But later on, we will come out of that. We will not act on that plane. Again, when we will act on that plane, when we leave this Shravana and Kirtana and are engaged, again begin engaging in this bodily conception. You know why? When one does that, again, what happens is the material nature will pull so far away from him that he'll never get a taste to do Shravana and Kirtana again. That's how powerful material nature is. Please understand this. Material nature is very powerful. It wants us to be in this niche only. Krishna, as a merciful father, is telling us everything. Arjuna, don't worry. My dear child, don't worry. Please come to the plane of seekers of the truth. Now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda, they are so mercifully, they are telling, no, don't worry. Just take up this process of Shravana and Kirtana. Just hear, just chant very nicely every day. You'll be free from all these obstacles of this material nature. I remember my spiritual master telling, what is the greatest blessing in this world is to hear continuously. It's the greatest blessing in this world. To have that association and hear continuously. It's a blessing actually. Most fortunate persons actually. Why? Because what are we trying to discuss? We're discussing the truth. And we don't discuss the same thing every day. That is the beauty of this truth. The beautiful process. That means our absorption should be so deep that there should be no chance for this material nature to enter into that realm. We shouldn't give any chance. But this material nature is entering into our consciousness. It should be absorbed like that. That means everything, whatever. Today, I was reading this small snippet by Srila Prabhupada, telling every moment in our life should be filled in such a way that we should ask this question at every step that am I doing this for the pleasure of Krishna? That's what Prabhupada is writing. Am I doing this for the pleasure of Krishna? So you should engage in that service only if you are doing it for their pleasure. Otherwise, there is no business with that. We do not have any business with that. It's like touch me not. That's not my area. That's a gray area. That means we don't go that side. There are certain areas in the city which we don't go. We know. Especially in US, there are certain areas in a certain city. Every city has those areas. We don't go to those areas because we know if we go, then it's a difficult place. There's a lot of shootings, that, so many things happening there. But we generally avoid that state. We don't go there. That's the gray area for us. Exactly this is what we should do. If that thing is helping me to remember Guru and Krishna, you do it. If it is not, simply avoid it. That is not my business. Should just do it for their happiness. Engage everything. Engage all our senses for their happiness. This is the beauty. Hare Krishna. Actually, I'm stopping little early because I have to travel. So tomorrow, if there is no class, I'll put a message in the group. Because I'm traveling to Hyderabad. This our relative is in a difficult state right now. He's almost about to leave his body. I'm heading there. Thank you. We'll try to continue our discussion. Anyone would like to add anything, like to share? Hare Krishna. Hope all of you are doing good. Yes, Ramapan Prabhu, please tell.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Please accept my
All
apology.
glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah.
I thank you so much, Prabhuji. Every time I listen to what you have to say, it gives us an extra layer of strength for sadhana, and we always try to improve by whatever you're saying. So I'm forever grateful to you for all this, Prabhuji. Please continue your wonderful service. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Ramapan Prabhu, hope your health is doing good. Hare Krishna.
Oh, I'm doing very good, Prabhuji, by
Very
the
nice.
mercies of the Lord and the prayers of all devotees. I'm doing very well right now. Thank you so
Nice to
much.
see you. Nice to see you in video. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Anyone else would like to add?
Should I tell you still not that example? That doesn't make her really look good.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Thank you all very much. If I caused an inconvenience through my words, please excuse me and stop it here. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
I think Vamshi,
Thank you.
Vamshi Prabhu did not, yes, Subal Prabhu, please tell.
Prabhuji, I was just telling, thank you so much, Prabhuji, for actually inspiring us to chant and, all these material things. We have to be very careful and lead to a very Krishna conscious. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Exactly, we should be very careful with this material. When we are dealing with this material world, we should be very careful. Otherwise, this material world will take us on a ride. Be very, very careful with this material. It looks like she's our helper, but she's not helping us. She's taking us away. It looks like she's giving some happiness, but she's not. She's pulling us away. So whenever instant happiness is coming, we should understand there's a problem here. Instant happiness will never come. Instant happiness comes on a natural state, on a spiritual plane. That happiness we haven't experienced yet. When we experience that, then we will not find any happiness in this. But that happiness we have not experienced yet. So until we experience that happiness, we should be very, very careful. Even after experiencing that happiness, we will be even more careful. Just like Prahlad Maharaj, in his previous life, Narada Muni in his previous life, when he has seen the Lord, after that, his way of accepting the process was more strong, because he knows he has experienced the happiness, because he has seen the presence of the Lord. Lord personally tells him, "I will not see you will not see me again." That means that kind of happiness was not aspired, was not received. So through which he was even more careful. So we should be very careful with our dealings. Hare Krishna. I think Vamshila Show did not recite the bhajan, so he'll continue. Request all the devotees to stay, as Prabhu will recite the prayer, and then after that we'll do the prayam. Hare Krishna. Yes,
Hare
Prabhu,
Krishna,
please
Prabhuji.
continue.
Thank you so much for the wonderful class, especially the point about, not internalizing that we are the soul and not the body. We keep hearing that all the time, but we keep acting in the bodily platform. Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving us practical tips of how to focus. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. I'll disconnect. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Yesterday was Mother's Day, and we are singing bhajan for Srimati Radharani and Krishna. So let's sing bhajan by Narottam Das Thakur to worship Srimati Radharani.